Well, I hope you're all doing well. For today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make super quick and easy gel wax candles. The first thing you're going to need is a container to put your candles in. I've gone with these glasses. I decided to go and make two because this one has a chip here, so I thought instead of chucking it out, I'm going to turn it into a nice candle. And yeah, it's the main thing is just make sure it's clear so that you can see all the beautiful things you're going to be putting in the gel wax. You can put anything in as long as it's not flammable. And yeah, you can just get really creative with it. Next thing you're going to need is some wick sustainers. It looks like this. It's just a small metal thing that goes in the bottom of the glass and holds your wick in place. In order to secure that, you're going to need a glue gun. If you don't have a glue gun, that's no problem. You can use a dot of press stick underneath the metal thing and just stick it down there. In your wick sustainer, you're going to obviously need wick. I can't remember the exact thickness of this wick, but I will leave links below in the description box for where I bought my products, because I know that this is a specific gel wax wick and it's supposed to be thicker than the normal wick. So in order to melt your wax, you're going to need an old pot or bowl. I've been using this one for a long time, so you can see how it looks. So definitely don't use something that you don't want to get messed up because it will get ruined. And I recommend not using something that you're going to clean and use for food afterwards. Just have one designated pot for candles, especially if you make candles as much as I do. I love making my own candles. I love scenting them to the scent that I prefer and the strength that I prefer. So yeah, anyway, don't put this directly on the stove like that because it's very dangerous. It's better to do a double boiler method. So I've got this pot here. I'm going to put water in there, and then once that water heats up, I'm going to put that in there. So it looks like this. And then it's going to be melting the wax in here, and you must just stir it the entire time. Never leave it alone on the stove. It can get out of control quite quickly. It's very important that you watch the wax and stir it the entire time and keep an eye on it. The last thing you're going to need is this little sticks, or you can use kebab sticks. I don't even know what this is. I think it's like for cheese platters and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do with this is put it across my glass like that, so that my wick is in the center of the glass, just to keep it in place. So for this, maybe like a dot or two of press stick just to put it on there. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my wick and hold it up against the glass like this. And remember, you do want a little bit of excess so that you can wrap it around a skewer stick or something like that and keep it in the middle of the glass so that it doesn't float around when you pour in the wax. So I'm going to go about this high and just cut it off. And because my glasses are more or less the same height, I'm just going to measure that and cut. Now that you have your wicks measured to the height of your glass, I'm going to take the wick and thread it through the sustainer. It's a lot easier to thread it through this side as opposed to this. And I find that the gel wax wick is quite thick, so I always take a sharp object and just push it through a little bit to get it started. And then once it starts coming through this side, you can just take a pliers and pull it through. Be careful not to pull it right through. I have done that so many times, and then you have to start all over again. Now that your wicks are ready, you're going to take your glue gun, just put a dot on there and stick it down into the glasses. Now that both of the candles are prepped and ready, I'm going to start adding in the beach sand and decorate with the shells. So that's just about as much as I'm going to put in, and I'm going to fill it with shells and candle wax. There we go. Next then is to go and melt the gel wax. Now that the wax is all melted, you're going to want to gently pour it into your candles. What I'm going to do is tilt my spoon this way to prevent any bubbles from forming. There will probably still be the odd bubble, but that's fine because we are making a beach themed candle. So if there's any bubbles, it's no worries, it's just water bubbles. Last thing you need to do is take off the skewer sticks and trim the wick. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it. I did get quite a few bubbles in the end, but you know what? So what? It is, as I said, a beach themed candle, so it's bubbles in the ocean water. I'm gonna stick with that. It still looks incredibly beautiful, and especially when you light it at night and then the whole candle just glows. That's my favorite part. So if you end up making these candles, I'd love it if you could take a photo, tag me on Instagram. I'll leave my handle just below the screen here. And yeah, it'd be great to see how it turns out, what you end up putting in your candles too. I'd like to see that. I'll see you again soon with a new video. Thanks. Bye.